Age of Imprisonment is right around the corner, and we've heard a lot about it so far. Fans are already coming up with multiple different theories about the game, including myself. But one thing nobody understands is where the heck it places on the timeline. I'm going to get a brain bleed from how much I've been thinking about this. Nintendo has decided for who knows what reason to make this game canon, and that alone has sprouted so many problems within the timeline. Fans are already split down the middle, saying that Age of Imprisonment and the events of 10,000 years ago, Tears of the Kingdom, come before Skyward Sword. Some say it comes right after Skyward Sword. Some people say it comes after Wind Waker. There's just so many theories going around because no one knows what the heck Nintendo is trying to do. Other than confirming that it's canon, Nintendo refuses to give us any other explanation to where this would go. And it's really starting to annoy people, me especially. I love the Zelda Timeline, but none of it makes sense, and I just don't understand why Nintendo can't give us a solid, defined, normal timeline like a normal person. Not only do they refuse to put Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom on the timeline, they've completely contradicted themselves multiple times throughout the series, and they just don't ever try to make up for it because they just leave it how it is. For example, we have 2 Hyrule Warriors games already, and this is going to be the 3rd one, and the only one out of all 3 that is canon. So today, I'm going to break it all down and tell you where I personally think this game goes on the timeline. Starting off, we already see the Zora and the Rito are in Age of Imprisonment. Not only that, but Koroks are also in Age of Imprisonment. The Rito and the Korok are both first introduced in the Wind Waker, which is a game in the adult timeline. See, the problem with this is that the Rito are said to evolve from the Zora, which are in the child timeline games like Majora's Mask and Twilight Princess. A possible theory is that Age of Imprisonment and the events of 10,000 years ago came a little whiles after the Wind Waker, with enough time in between for the Rito and Zora to split and have 2 separate races once again. The only problem is that it states the Zonai are the ones who founded Hyrule. This could be a possible refounding where Rauru refounds Hyrule, and that's how they found Hyrule. And the Zonai are just Hylians that adapted to life in the sky. This also makes no sense because it is explicitly stated canonically in Wind Waker that the land of Hyrule is right beneath the waters. So this would make no sense at all. And unfortunately, this just rules out one more place that this game could go in the timeline. The other theory is that Age of Imprisonment comes right after Skyward Sword. Skyward Sword has been known as the game that starts the timeline for the past 14 years. And a lot of people are saying that the events of Skyward Sword are actually predated by the Zona. This could be a probable source because there is a land below Skyloft in Skyward Sword. While it is stated in Skyward Sword at the end of the game that Zelda and Link stay behind to create a kingdom and life and dwell on the earth, it is possible that Zonai actually did create the land of Hyrule before Link and Zelda came down and they were just underneath the whole time. But another problem we run into is that in Tears of the Kingdom, it's stated that the Zonai also come from the sky. So this theory wouldn't work either, which leads us right into our next. The Imprisoning War events and the Skyloft Skyward Sword events could be the exact same thing. Both of them come from the sky and both of them come down to the earth below to make a new land. But the myths and legends converge and kind of confuse throughout the tens of thousands of years that Hyrule exists? Yes, but that still doesn't add up because where are the Zonai coming from and what happens to the originating of Link and Zelda? It just makes no sense, and this theory is also not probable. I have yet to see a probable theory on where the heck Age of Imprisonment goes on the timeline. Not a single one of the backstories, storylines, or characters add up in any way to any of the things we've seen in the past from each timeline. At this point, I don't even know if Nintendo knows what they're doing, and I think that they're just making it up as they go. I think they're genuinely just as confused as all of us because they don't know what's going on either. I just can't handle it anymore. I don't know what's going on. I have never asked anything of Nintendo ever before, but please just make a normal timeline that actually makes sense, Nintendo. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, like and subscribe and let me know in the comments what you think is going on with Age of Imprisonment.